Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. I am Paisano. Welcome to the Rock and Roll Dungeon. Let's talk about subscriptions, get that out of the way. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about rock and roll here. Always have, always will. And if you've been watching for some time and not yet subscribed, come on, subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. Just do it. All right, that aside, let's talk about Blue Cheer and their debut, the first glimpse the world got into the thunder of Blue Cheer and their album Vincebus Eruptum, which translates to controlled chaos, Latin for controlled chaos, which is pretty accurate, I would say. These guys were a trio from San Francisco. From what I understand, this album was recorded in late 1967 and released in 1968. These were not the Flower Power, Jefferson Airplane, those kind of groups. They were not peace, love, and understanding. San Francisco, Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco. These guys, this is arguably, one of the first heavy metal bands, I mean, the first ones to play this kind of bludgeoning blues rock, fuzzed out like you wouldn't believe. I think Iron Butterfly was out in 1968, as was Vanilla Fudge. They were considered with these guys to be the blueprint for which everything else was built on come 1968, 69, 70, with your Black Sabbaths, your Led Zeppelins, your Deep Purples, those guys. Like I said, I'm a sucker for a trio, and these guys were a trio. It was Dickie Peterson on bass and vocals, Paul Whaley on drums, and Lee Stevens on guitar. And they created quite a sound for themselves. Very rudimentary. Lee Stevens wasn't with them much past 1968. He was replaced with Randy Holden, and they made kind of a big upgrade as far as guitar talent. I mean, Lee Stevens, he served the purpose here, but wow, he was no Hendrix, that's for sure. No Hendrix. He wasn't a Jimmy Page. He wasn't a Tony Iommi. He was Lee Stevens. And he was just barely passable as a lead guitar player. Relied quite a bit on that whammy bar. Man, he must have had a reinforced bridge on that whatever guitar he was using, because my goodness, did he hammer that whammy bar. And a very heavy fuzz tone on nearly every tune. These 6 songs, 3 of them I believe are covers and 3 originals. So that's a shot of the band there. This is a reissue that came out on Philips, the original company that put the product out in '68. In the back, and you get the liner notes from Stanley Owsley, the LSD chemist. He writes on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. The ground of being, change the sound of time. Life, seek the unrevealed. Love, dance the wonder yet concealed, and subtle color of the mind. Blue, cull the figure of the soul, cheer. Guess it makes sense if you're on acid. Let's go over the track listing. I believe this is a 180 gram vinyl. It's kind of heavy vinyl. And it didn't show up in, I bought it, you know, brand new. It was in the shrink wrap. It was obviously a reissue, probably around 2017, 2018 maybe. Found it at a record store. I'm not exactly sure where. But I jumped all over it. I mean, all these songs are on the other Blue Chair album I reviewed some time back, Louder Than God. I believe all these songs are on there. It's by far their best album. They had some other ones with some, you know, some replacements. Dickie Peterson was the one mainstay of Blue Chair. He was the founding member, and he stayed with them right up to the end, right up till the day he died, which was in the early part of the 2000s, I believe. Kicks off with Summertime Blues, which actually went to number 14, I think, on the Hot 100 in 1968, which is incredible. Followed by Rock Me Baby and Doctor Please. Side 2, Out of Focus, Parchment Farm, and Second Time Around. Comes in at around 32 minutes. It was recorded loud. It's a loud record. And like I said, when I bought it, I put it on the turntable, and it had a scratch right off the bat where must have been a defect with the lead-in there, the dead wax lead-in, because the skip right at the beginning of Summertime Blues, right at the very, very start of it. A little disappointing, but I have that song as a download from Apple and from a bunch of other sources too, so don't think I'm going to do without a damaged recording of Summertime Blues. Paisano's all over that. It was definitely their best song. Obviously a cover by Eddie Cochran, early rock and roll pioneer of the 50s, giving it the Blue Chair treatment. Like I said, these guys, as they appeared here with Lee Stevens, Paul Whaley, and Dickie Peterson, they didn't last too long. Lee Stevens was the first to either leave or get fired. I'm not exactly sure, but Paul Whaley stayed with them for a little while, and then he left. And by the time the early 70s came around, Dickie Peterson was the only one left. So that's about all I got to say about this one. Join Genevieve and myself, my co-host. We'll pick up the Pittsburgh Pirates hat on Monday night, and we'll draw next week's album. Next Sunday will be, are we into July? No, it's going to be the 29th of June. 29th of June, my goodness gracious. We are flying right through this year, people. Alright, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in Monday night, we'll draw another album for review. Good night, YouTube. Thanks again.